Good afternoon. I call to order the special closed session of the Mayor and City Council at 3:33 p.m. Welcome, thank you for being here, and thank you to those viewing remotely. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor, I just would like to make a correction. It's just a special meeting. It's not a special closed session. And it's my error on the script. Councilmember Sanchez? Here. Councilmember Ibarra? Present. Mayor Pro Tem?
Here.
Councilmember Charette? Here. Councilmember Canas? Councilmember Flores has not yet arrived. Councilmember Ortiz? Here. And Mayor Tran?
Here. Thank you. Moving on to public comments for items listed on the special agenda. Madam City Clerk, do we have any public comments?
Yes, we have 7 speakers. We have John Schollenberger, Ronald Donis, Dolores Armstead, Victor Suarez, Christian Shaughnessy, Tim Prince, and Kim Calvin.
Thank you. If you hear your name, please approach the podium at this time. Make your comments. You have 3 minutes.
John Schellenberger, 7th Ward, City of San Bernardino. I am here to speak in opposition to the removal of my 7th Ward Council Commissioner for the Arts and Historical Society. We're wasting taxpayer time and money on something as ridiculous as this. This man exercising his First Amendment right to go up to a podium and speak, regardless of what you like what he said or not. That's his right to speak. It's not right to try to come together and remove a person for that reason. And it was at a commission meeting that he wasn't even representing himself as such at that time. I have seen in the last couple of months a 5th Ward commissioner come into this council dais and behave in a way that was completely and totally unacceptable. The first time she did it, she tried to hijack the meeting and the mayor had to throw her out of here. The second time she did it, she came in here and tried to bring forth false accusations against the mayor. And I asked her council person about that. I said, you can ask her to step down or you can remove her. Her council person doubled down and called me a liar. But okay, that said, That's her decision to make, not anybody else's. That's Kim's decision to make. She chose not to do it, okay? This other matter was settled, but now his soon-to-be ex-wife is the reason that this thing all got agendized and brought up here. We're not focusing in on the things that matter to the quality of life of people in our community, such as getting streets repaved or getting better lighting put in or the crumbling infrastructure. No, we're going to use this opportunity, Sandra Ibarra, who called this special meeting, to attack this man. That's how I perceive this. This is unacceptable. It is up to the council person directly to remove their council person, and this man is not to be removed. It's not worthy of that. And again, maybe I didn't like what the other commissioner had to say, but that's that council person's responsibility. And I am completely and totally against this. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name. You have 3 minutes.
I am concerned that the city is holding a special meeting to remove Commissioner Victor Suarez without clear justification. Did he steal from the city? Did he physically or verbally abuse someone? Did he lie to the city or commission? What is your reason? From what many residents can see, it appears connected to a personal situation involving your Parks and Rec Director, Vanessa Carter, and her personal relationship with Suarez's ex-wife. Question it. Residents have noticed that his ex was attending commission meetings, staring at and intimidating Suarez and the other commissioners. Why is she attending these meetings? She doesn't live in the city. She doesn't work in the city. She has burned bridges in our community, and many of the people are cautious about working with her. The situation looks like retaliation, but not for a legitimate reason. To remove a volunteer commissioner who is trying to serve the community. Your employee, Vanessa Carter, needs to be investigated. She allowed Ms. Suarez to attend the commission meetings and intimidate the people there. Before taking any action, the city should investigate why this is happening, whether proper procedures were followed, and whether any conflicts of interest were ignored. The city has no business playing divorce court. The shame on Sandra Ibarra for even spearheading this meeting. She makes you all look bad. And tearing a private resident and his family apart. San Bernardino already struggles with public trust. Removing a commissioner because of personal relationships instead of facts only makes it worse. This is also a violation of his free speech. What are you doing? You're looking ridiculous. Divorce court, really?
Thank you. Next speaker. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. My name is Victor Suarez. As a commissioner entrusted to serve the residents of San Bernardino, my priority is and always will be the integrity of our public institutions. During an October Parks and Rec Commission meeting, I addressed matters that, while personal in nature, directly related to ongoing harassment and retaliatory behavior directed at me in my capacity as a commissioner. I will not allow intimidation, personal targeting, or the misuse of influence by anyone to interfere with the work that I've been appointed to do for this community. I remain committed to transparency, accountability, and ensuring that every commission in our city, including Parks and Rec and Arts and Historical, operates free from personal vendetta and misconduct. My focus is on serving the people of San Bernardino professionally and ethically, and I trust that any action meant to undermine my service will be addressed appropriately through the proper channels. But the question remains, why has a city employee accused of retaliating against an appointed official not been placed under investigation? Any resident or public servant would expect immediate accountability, yet none has been initiated. If retaliation is happening in our departments, it deserves scrutiny, not silence. I have filed a formal complaint due to ongoing retaliation, intimidation, mishandling of commission procedures, conflicts of interest involving Director Vanessa Carter and my soon-to-be ex-wife, and actions that have undermined my ability to safely and effectively serve as a commissioner. Some of the reasons that I file a formal complaint includes retaliation and obstruction after requesting meeting recordings and transparency regarding public access, the false accusation of a Brown Act violation, intimidation at commission meetings involving my soon-to-be ex-wife appearing alongside with Director Vanessa Carter, escalating harassment from my soon-to-be ex-wife, leading me to pursue restraining orders for my safety and the safety of my daughters. Negative public comments made by your director about my parenting, shared with the community members and city staff while she was on the job, mishandling and withholding of written public comments, failure to properly notify me of a commission meeting resulting in missed participation and actions taken without my knowledge, seat rearrangement that appeared discriminatory, hostile behavior and resistance from Commissioner Robert Porter, including comments about my private life and political accusations, defamatory complaints submitted by my soon-to-be ex-wife to contain false statements intended to damage my reputation, the lack of notice regarding any discussion about my removal as commissioner, despite involvement from staff, promotion of your Director Carter despite ongoing concerns, conflict of interest, and inappropriate involvement into my personal affairs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Prince. I'm a lifelong resident of San Bernardino and business owner, and was born and raised here, and am one of the few lawyers remaining downtown. And as an attorney, I can tell you, I would strongly caution you, and I'm sure your city attorney can advise you, against taking any action against this commissioner. There is a specific law, published United States District Court case involving Victoria Baca and the Moreno Valley School District, where a commissioner was criticizing a staff member, and the court specifically found that was within his First Amendment rights to free speech, and that case was set up for damages because of the incursion of his First Amendment rights. This is directly analogous. You have a, in my opinion, perfectly legitimate criticism of a staff member. It was brief. It was not a prolonged, it was not a spectacle. It was a statement of criticism against a staff member who had been intimidating a commissioner. And that's inappropriate. And even if it's not true in your opinion, that's not grounds to terminate a commissioner. We have rights to make complaints. In this case, I think it's a valid complaint. I think it should concern you a lot more than this effort of Ms. Ibarra to try to remove her rival's commissioner. But regardless of how meritorious the complaint is, it's within his First Amendment rights. This city has had its share of legal miscues in recent years. Please do not make another mistake. Please tend to your responsibilities as leaders of this city. Fighting my way through this vacant so-called downtown with problems with homelessness, crime, streetlights, businesses fleeing, nobody's being attracted. You have a 40-acre Carousel Mall property site. You don't even report to the public about it. Our city hall, designed artfully by Cesar Pelli, remains closed decade after decade. You don't even report to us on what you're doing about it. It's time for you to concentrate on your business. Stop political rivalries. Treasurer Ortiz has accomplished very much in her short tenure on this council, compared to some of you who have been on this council for years. Whether you like her or not, She represents the 7th Ward of San Bernardino. She deserves respect, and so does her commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker. Please state your name. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, residents of San Bernardino, honorable city council members, honorable mayor. My name is Christian Shaughnessy. I am from the 2nd Ward. And I would like to point out to the people who have not been physically here today that we have had outrageous winds outside. We've had rather extreme behavior, and perhaps it's an omen, a sign of what the Lord thinks about the item here on council today. But I really do wish that this was something happening in a city with less important things to attend to. I understand many people may not like Mr. Suarez on a personal basis. I understand that many people may not appreciate the comments said by commissioners of all factions in this city. But I would like to point out that when taxpayers pay for city employees to arrange meetings, and that when taxpayers pay for our security, and when taxpayers pay and establish meetings indirectly for something like this, that we did not have a special meeting when a mother and grandmother, Teodora Mendoza, was mauled to death in the 2nd Ward, a couple blocks away from the youth drop-in center I work at. We did not have a special meeting when a second person was mauled to death at Paris Hill Park, a couple blocks away from the youth drop-in center I work at. We did not have a special meeting when ICE came to the Home Depot, one of the Home Depots in our city, and they took away human beings, not just from this city, but from this country, and perhaps out of this life, sending them to places that are dangerous for them. And we did not have a special meeting when so many of our young people overdosed in the ward and when they overdosed in our city. And we did not have a special meeting when Amy Malone was called the N-word at this podium. And we did not have a special meeting with a great deal of attendance when so many other issues happened to the city's African-American community and the 2nd Ward's African-American community. And I would like to point out that when there was a meeting arranged by our brothers and sisters in the faith community and by the San Bernardino NAACP, that so many of the people that are now here and present today to attack a commissioner and realistically fire him, they did not attend that meeting. They did not. They had work to go to. They had medical issues. They had all of these very important things, and they can happen. But it was noticed by the community. It was noticed by our working families and honest small businesses, and it was noticed by people who time and time again often don't get noticed. And so with that being the case, I take no pride in giving the public comments that I've had to give right now. I do wish we were in a better city where something like this could have gotten the attention that it really deserved because we didn't have any other problems, but instead we do. And so with that being the case, I earnestly hope that we can work together on less divisive issues and that we can make the Ward 2 and the city of San Bernardino a better place. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name. You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, Kimberly Calvin. Mayor and council, I'm before you today to speak regarding this frivolous ways that the council continues to misuse the taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. I'd like to ask, how do the taxpayers of this city call a special meeting to address all of the issues and major concerns of the people that the council members continue to disregard? For instance, Councilmember Ibarra, why haven't you called a special meeting to address all of the unsheltered people living on the streets of Ward 2? Why haven't you called a special meeting to address why businesses such as Smart and Final and Walgreens and others have left Ward 2? Councilmember Sanchez, why haven't you called a special meeting to address and allowing our constituents to live in that disastrous building on 4th Street, the structure where there's no hot water, lights, and are totally uninhabitable? The conditions there are ones that you would never live in. Or even further, why don't we have a thriving downtown? That's because you are partly responsible for the sabotage of the downtown development, along with Councilmember Charette. No special meetings have been called to address the actual reasons you were voted into office. The people's business is what you should be concerned with. How do we all call a special meeting to address all that the council members do not? At the ballot box is where we begin. every constituent that is in the earshot of my voice to truly evaluate the successes of Councilmember Ibarra, Charette, and Sanchez, and their focus being that it is not in the best interest of the people, because they are part of the reason why we are here today, because it does take 4 votes. So while we do know that Councilmember Ibarra is one who called for this special meeting, we would like to know who are the other 3. Which of you have called a special meeting to address Councilmember Sanchez calling the city of Barstow to talk to the former interim city manager's mayor? Have any of you done that? Raise your hand, nod your head if you did that, because that would mean that you are consistently making sure that you are not putting the city in financial liability. But I bet you that none of you have called to verify that what I came to the dais and stated was true or not. And all you had to do was call a mayor to see if Councilmember Sanchez did indeed call to defame our former interim city manager, Rochelle Clayton. This is where your jobs come into play. This is where your responsibility comes into play. Vote them out, every last one.
Thank you. Next speaker, please state your name.
And individuals that will come to this special meeting. I don't know why we're even meeting here. My name is James Smith. I'm the chairman of the Historical Preservation Commission. One of our most effective commissioners is Victor Suarez. There's no reason that he should be even considered to be in this, the topic of this discussion today. It's completely worthless. We're wasting time. We should be talking about, just to reinforce what everyone has said today about the serious problems we have in the city of San Bernardino. We have a gentleman that owns a gym in Southern California. He talked to my Rotary Club this week about cleaning up the city of San Bernardino. He's the gentleman that you should call a special meeting for, so he could share all the wonderful information, all the activities that he's doing to clean up the city of San Bernardino, to share with you some of his plans to turn around the city of San Bernardino. That's what we need to do, is to work to better the city of San Bernardino and keep politics out of the discussions. We don't need politics. We need things done to improve the city of San Bernardino, and I respect our city council person's choice as a commissioner, and I strongly encourage you to keep on our Historical Preservation Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello, Council. My name is Ronald Donis Alvarado. I'm the president of the Haynes Park Neighborhood Association, and I'm also chair of the Parks Commission, where this incident occurred. Sitting back there, it was a brief statement that was made. None of my commissioners had any qualms, made any complaints about this. It was a private matter that the city has blown up into a spectacle. This again shows poor governance on your part. I am incensed that somebody that came to my commission meeting is being dragged here, freedom of speech is being violated. This is already opening up the city to liability for lawsuits. This is ridiculous. We're calling a special meeting for what? For what? There's going to be a lawsuit from Vanessa, Mr. Levy. There's really people calling for an investigation into her. I'm a public administration professional. I work in compliance. I work in risk management. This is ridiculous if there's no investigation. The way that this is being handled is it's out of this world. No council, no proper governing body would do this. Why are we here? It's infuriating. As a resident, as someone who also has children that go into this district, this is pathetic that time and time again, this council proves that it's not fit to lead. Who called this meeting? Ms. Ibarra, are you fit to lead? Can you sit here and tell me that after turning time and time again into these simple matters into a spectacle, are you even fit to lead? Who voted to hold this meeting? This is ridiculous. I'm also running again, Mr. Sanchez, next year. And I hope this is not a point that I have to make against you. I hope that everybody here can be reasonable, can make the proper decision to defend our city, to show that although there is poor governance, there is people here. There's people that can work together, that there's a light at the end of this tunnel, that once Ms. Ibarra is gone, that once Mr. Sanchez is gone, that we can move this city forward. This is not going to happen if we keep stumbling into lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Our downtown is hurting. Where's the Carousel Mall? Where's our general strategic plan? Where's the park strategic plan? I'm the chair of the Parks Commission, and after me, I hear nothing about this. This is ridiculous. I'm ashamed to be here speaking at a meeting that embarrasses me as a public administrator, embarrasses me as a Parks Commissioner, and embarrasses me as a resident of this city. This is this man's freedom of speech. Regardless of what he said, you sit here now threatening to punish this man for his public comment. This is sickening.
Thank you.
That concludes the speakers, and we did also receive written comments that have been distributed to the mayor and members of the city council, and they'll be made available online.
Thank you. We will now move on to the item on the agenda, Arts and Historical Preservation Commission removal of Victor Suarez in the 7th Ward. Do any members of the council wish to discuss this item or have any comments?
I'd like to make a motion to remove him from the commission.
Okay.
And I just have a clarifying question for our city attorney. If you could please opine for commissioner appointments. I understand that they serve at the council's pleasure. Is that correct? They don't serve just one individual council member.
That is correct. All commissioners serve at the pleasure of the mayor and city council. They don't serve any one individual. And when they are voted in, they are voted upon by the entire body.
Thank you for that clarification. And just one more. For removal of commissioners, that could be done with or without cause. Is that correct?
That is correct. Again, the key phrase in the code is that they serve at the pleasure of the mayor and city council. And so there doesn't have to be any specific reason to remove a commissioner. And I also just want to clarify, should the council, mayor and council decide to remove Mr. Suarez, that action would not be an attempt to censor him or violate his First Amendment rights. He is still entitled, whatever happens tonight, he is still entitled to go to any Brown Act meeting that this city holds and to give public comments there.
Thank you so much for that clarification.
Thank you. Councilmember Ortiz?
Oh, that's what we're not doing. No, I'm sorry. First, I want to apologize to the public for really what is a waste of your time. We have far greater issues in this city. Homelessness, blight, can't get a street paved, can't get the downtown redeveloped, can't get a bed in place through our own means, can't build a navigation center. But we are not playing this is not for cause, Mr. City Attorney, because Councilwoman Ibarra sent an email that she was deeply concerned that I did not address the concerns of Mr. Suarez's soon-to-be ex-wife. And her reason was, this commissioner has slandered me personally on social media, but as an elected official, I'm not protected from the slander. This is a personal vendetta. And my emails are part of the public record. As treasurer is aware, otherwise, I could have sued her a long time ago for the misinformation and the slander she'd spoken about on social media, although we've paid $300,000 in attorney fees for the things that Councilwoman Sandra Ibarra has said online. We even have an obligation to protect our residents from any public official, whether elected city staff or commissioners, from making remarks like this person has done. He was unprofessional and potentially opened up our city to yet another lawsuit because of his private matters. There is absolutely a reason why this meeting was called. And I asked all of you, every single one of you, not to do this. I emailed you. I had addressed this issue with the city manager when it arose in October. This is 2 months later, you guys. And I'm going to tell you something. I appreciate what Mr. Prince said about my success in the 7th Ward. I do. But if you don't understand or can't even step back from the fact that my success is because of the work of us as a council, when we come together to collaborate, not collude. The collusion was what happens behind closed doors. The collaboration that we do up here, that my shining success is your shining success. The fact that you don't want to get that is why we're here. You want to hurt Victor because he didn't want to put up with the stuff that was being said about him by one of our own staff members, allegedly? That's for us to take up with the city manager, and I asked you to do that. I asked City Manager Levitt, do what you got to do. Did we not meet? Did we talk? We talked. We talked. It was cool. I met with my commissioner. I said, hey, do me a favor. If there's a grievance, come to me. I'll address this. City manager, according to the charter, take care of your employee. And it was gone and it was quiet for over a month and a half. And it wasn't until December 1st that the meeting minutes for this meeting were even posted to the city's website. Now, I get it. We all get what happens in this city, the political and the personal vendettas and the throat cutting. But these people do not serve at the pleasure of the council. They serve at the pleasure of the community. These are community members, people that live in this city and reside here and are affected every single day, as Ms. Dolores Armstead has said, by the decisions that we make, and you wish to harm them. And when I remember last year when your animal control commissioner did a lot, and people came to you, and what did you do? You had a conversation and said, hey, we got to tone it down, or I got to get rid of you. And it couldn't get toned down, and you brought that decision to the council and said, all right, I got to do something about this. And I respected your decision. I supported your decision. Councilwoman Canas, her commissioner, has been removed from a meeting, has had public comments made about her meeting, or about her conversations. I ain't said a word, because that's Councilwoman Canas's. You may serve at the pleasure, quote unquote, of the council, but I respect her enough to do what she's got to do for her representation on the Planning Commission. I don't get that same respect. I don't get the same consideration that I give you all. Why? Because you didn't like my public comments as a resident? At some point, this has to end. Because I get calls from city attorneys, I get calls from city managers that ask, what the heck are we doing here in a special meeting? Agendizing a private resident and a city employee. Because even in the best cities that don't have the problems we have, they don't do this nonsense. But maybe when you can't put someone's contract on an agenda, maybe when you can't talk about the real issues, we get to do this. But I'm asking you, I'm appealing to those of you that understand the precedent. You may think I'm on the outs. Cool, fine. I'm the least liked council member. I don't care, because I'm the most liked in my ward. And not a single one of my residents came to me and asked me to remove my commissioner, who is, as the president's saying, is doing an excellent job advocating. You know what he advocated for? You want to know what his sin was? That we voted unanimously for our commissions to look at the times. And my ward came back and said, hey, we love arts and historical preservation. We actually liked the work that the former commission was doing with Robert Porter. Granted, things were going on with his family. He couldn't be in that position. We want to come and support you guys, but we can't do that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's his sin. So, I don't get it. I don't understand how we continue to do things like this. I don't have a concern for Victor. I didn't have a concern about our director. Because this isn't where this should have been discussed. It was dead. But you got nothing else to do in your jobs. You got nothing else to do for this city. But this didn't say anything violent, didn't say anything egregious, didn't say anything other than I'm being retaliated against and targeted, and now we got to remove you? And I want you to think about this. If this is one of your commissioners, what do you do? And when you're not in the majority, do we get to wipe away your representation? That's my representative. You serve at the pleasure of this council. Well, you're taking away the voice of the 7th Ward. So I don't believe the city attorney when he says that. That's who's going to come and speak for my ward. Who's going to come speak for your ward when you're next? This is a slippery slope. I've respected every one of your positions. Respect mine. Put the personal vendettas aside. Allow me to keep my commissioner, should there ever be an issue with any of them. As I told you in my email, I will come to you because I respected you enough to bring these people forward. You didn't agree with everybody I brought forward in the beginning. Did I object? Did I object to any of your objections on my first go-around? No, I did not. You said, here's why I got to do, and I said, all right, all right. Well, give me that respect. Because I respected you enough not to make this a joke. I respected you guys enough not to keep making us a Jerry Springer show, to be a kangaroo court or look like Judge Judy. And Councilwoman Ibarra didn't give me that respect. And her email shows this as personal. This is with cause, because she doesn't like Victor Suarez's comments online. What have we ever done to anybody up here, commissioner or non-commissioner, to stop their comments against our employees? Not a single thing, and you know why? Because it is a violation of your First Amendment right. And as someone who is targeted, someone who was violated by elected officials and city staff, I'm telling you, don't do this. Don't do this. You have an attorney, one of the most, whose dad was a city attorney in this city, telling you that there is already a case, Baca v. this Moreno Valley Unified School District. There is precedent on this. And I get it. We've already talked to our city attorney about how far we are always willing to go. And you know what? Everybody gets paid when we do the wrong thing. So take your vote, but I'm asking, I'm appealing, and not to all of you, because some of you could care less, but I'm appealing to those of you that do, I believe, can do the right thing regardless of the continued collusional pressure behind closed doors. Let this die here. And let's just go into closed session. That's what I ask of you, and trust that I will come to you. I promise you, if I need your help, I will come to you and let our employees do their job. Let our commissioners sit on our commissions. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Ibarra?
I'll respond to some of the accusations. First thing, Victor did wrong was go to a meeting, a publicly held meeting, Ms. Dolores. It does not matter who runs the meetings. It is a public meeting. Everybody is allowed to attend. That person who was slandered used to live in the city, left the city for her own safety and her well-being. I responded to an email from a parent concerned about her children and herself. So if that is wrong, as a commissioner, do not use your title at a public meeting to slander an employee and your family matters. You have issues you have to deal with. I hope you heal. Now that you don't become a commissioner, you can have all the freedom of speech you'd like. I myself had a lawsuit because of something I said online. And I used my private account, and I still got sued. That case got dismissed. So with that said, do not use your title as a commissioner, as a sworn-in official of the city, to slander another person at a public meeting. And we'll let the recordings take their course. We'll let the attorneys do what they have to do. So I wish you well, Mr. Victor. My
Thank
motion
you.
still stands.
Councilmember Ortiz?
See that right there, Sandra? That right there is the problem. Let the taxpayers pay whether we like it or not, because we believe that the comment shouldn't stand. You understand what you're mitigating here is the private aspect, the privateness of it, the private partiness of it.
He made it public himself.
It doesn't matter.
Councilmember.
But you see, that's the thing, Sandra. Why you can't delineate the two is, as a resident, as a commissioner here, look, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, for those of you, here's the Arts and Historical Preservation Commission. These are the goals, the objectives, the bylaws, the only restrictions. Do you know that there's actually only one commissioner, truly only one commissioner in violation of the bylaws is the one who hasn't shown up to 3 consecutive meetings? He has violated nothing in here. And for you to determine, you with your law degree, you with your years as a judge, correct? To be able to determine slander? That's what you've said. You've already, on public record, said that he has slandered somebody. In your emails, you agree that your decision is based wholeheartedly off of a formal complaint by his soon-to-be ex-wife. Those are your words. That's the problem. We're not here talking about a commissioner who violated commission standards, all 4 of them, which is conflicts of interest financially, speaking on behalf of the whole commission. He didn't do that. He has not violated one thing that we gave him. The only thing he's done is said something that you and his soon-to-be ex-wife don't like. We don't get to do that. We don't have that freedom to violate the rights of people when this is the only
When there's
standard.
a
You want to change
breach of
something?
privacy, it is something.
Councilmember,
not.
please do not interrupt. One at
That's
a
the same.
time.
You don't determine what is private. The First Amendment. You don't get to tell that man what he gets to say about his children and not say about his children. Keep talking. No, Kim. No, Kim. Don't get her to stop. Let her defend herself. You all want this meeting, let's have this meeting, because this is what the public meeting needs to be about. Because this is not, as the city attorney says, reason or no reason. You've given a reason. You keep giving a reason. It is all personally based. And this is all being watched by attorneys, by media. You wanted this, you get what you asked for. FAFO. Because you've gotten away with this too much. $300,000 we've paid because of your mouth, because of your social media posts. Keep talking. You don't care. It ain't coming out of your bank account.
Councilwoman, are you done?
I hope so. I hope I don't have to keep talking about this. Let's take the vote.
Councilmember Barr, did you want to say any other words or comments? Councilmember Sanchez? Okay, there's a
Second. Call for the
second.
vote.
Motion second. Please call for the votes. Oh, wait, hold up. Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa?
Not sure why I have two microphones here. I don't know. Thank you. I'm one of the ones that I guess didn't respond to the emails because I find it, like, I honestly believe we have much better things to do and focus on. And when that request came out, there wasn't any evidence, anything had been provided. I don't know what this is based on now. And I've had a conversation with Treasurer about this. If there is something that ill represents the city or something that was said, what evidence, please provide the evidence for the public to make a solid decision here. Because if there was, look, there's a difference between making a public comment as a private resident and then making one representing the city. And as a commissioner, you're sort of representing the city, right? You're a public figure, you sit on a commission. What comments, if any, were made as a commissioner? What was done? Please, I think the public deserves to know. There's been some, a council member alluding to slander or some comments. Please, for the public to know what, because again, look, if there is something, I'll say yes. Look, that doesn't represent the city, and that's certainly not appropriate. And so, please, I want to be provided that evidence so that the public is aware of it as well. Please, I'm begging for it because I'm willing to go along if there is something that is inappropriate or ill represents the city or is just is unbecoming or is something that is detrimental in some way to the city. Please, let's have that conversation.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. There is a recording of the minutes online now. I believe it's posted just a few days ago. And just so for the public to understand, when I was made aware of the comments made by the commissioner, it was right after the meeting. I got the call. I did reach out to Councilmember Ortiz. I said there has been some probably unprofessional comments made, but again, it was a personal matter. Can you please talk to the commissioner? Because if this is going to be a repeated offense, we have to take action. Councilwoman did hear what I have to say because came to me as one of my commissioners, and since then, Councilmember Ortiz has said that she had addressed it with the commissioner, and that was it that I'm aware of. So,
was it made under the title of, when somebody comes up to the podium and say, "Hi, I'm so and so," or "Hi, I'm so and so," with title attached to it? Was there a title attached to those comments, thus representing the city?
So the first half of the comment of support of the commission was made in respect to, as a commissioner supporting public park and recreation, moving their times, and the rest was as a private resident. It was represented as, I'm speaking as a commissioner on this half and a private resident as the other half, within his right as a private resident. And because of the email that we received, there was nothing untrue at all about his comment. It was verified in the formal complaint that it was no false statement was made. It was that they did not like the comment, which I really don't want us to have to repeat, but if I need to, I will read it. But it was just the fact that they did not like that the information was disclosed about the relationship. But
I
it
have
was
a question.
privately.
Councilmember Canas?
So, Councilmember Ortiz, because you're saying that it was verified that his comment was accurate, how was that? And can we kind of dwell down to the comment? Because I did listen to the recording myself, and he did represent himself as a commissioner. He specifically said, "I am coming as the vice chair of the Arts and Preservation Commission." He didn't delineate saying, part of my comment is as a chair and part of my comment is as a private resident. That was not delineated. In addition, you are saying that his comments were in fact verified as being accurate.
Right.
He made a very personal comment accusing our now Parks and Rec Director, at that time, the interim Parks and Director, of something personal with his ex-wife, and you are now stating that that was verified. How in fact was that verified?
Because hang on real quick.
Is there an investigation that was done by the city manager that verified that what his claim was accurate? City manager?
What, did you?
I didn't do an investigation based on the public comment, no.
Did you do any investigation?
I can't actually talk about anything that would be a personnel matter right now.
So, because Councilmember Ortiz is asserting that you guys have verified that his claims are correct.
No. In the complaint that we got, it was that he had shared private, personal information that she did not believe should have been disclosed. That was in the complaint that we had gotten.
Again, you said his claims
So
were
do you know
proven
that
to be
this?
true.
And do
That
you
that was
know-
your comment, not mine.
My claim is that has it been proven false? Have you all been able to prove that what he said was slanderous and incorrect?
So can I also ask, he came again as the vice chair of the commission. Do you agree that it was appropriate to come as a vice chair of a commission representing the city making such slanderous comments against a city employee?
I believe that in his capacity of feeling retaliated and targeted by a city employee, and then giving a reason as to the justification for why, given that there is a personal relationship that is affecting what he believes is his ability to do his duties? Yeah.
So why didn't he submit a formal complaint at that time? Why did he choose to grieve his grievances at a different commission meeting instead of taking the appropriate processes, even contacting you to make sure that you filed that claim in the appropriate channels? Why was it done in a public display using his title as vice chair of his commission?
Because that's where I guess he felt it was most appropriate. Why didn't you reach out to him and ask him?
Do you feel that was most appropriate?
If it's his First Amendment right. As a chair, as a commissioner, there is nothing here that prohibits him from doing anything that representing the whole. As a private resident, he has every right to speak. As a commissioner, there is nothing that prohibits him from speaking. Now, given the circumstance of everything that was going on, I wish we would have been able to do this behind closed doors. But there is no violation of a code of ethics. There is no violation of the Arts and Historical Preservation Committee bylaws. There is nothing that he violated in his public comment. And I watch commissioners get up here all the time and represent themselves as commissioners in a public forum at our commission meetings and say whatever they like, whenever they want, because that is their right. Whether we think that is the best place to do all of this, let's fix the bylaws.
Completely understand, but I also want to make something very, very clear, because you keep on using my commissioner as an example. It's very contrasting. The complaint regarding NHH that's sent to the city, I suppose, leaked to John Schollenberger, who then made a public comment. Those comments that were made by my commissioner were actually factual comments that can actually be verified at publicly accessible planning commission meetings, including the comment that was made pertaining to the July 8th, 2025 commissioner meeting. So I just want to make sure that that is very clear. Everything that she said, and I'm sure you received the response that our city attorney did send to NHA. My commissioner did not make any false claims that keep on being, that statement keeps being made. I want to make sure that we delineate that and make that
We can do that.
contrast.
And
Thank you.
again, here's the assumption. Remember when they say people assume? You make an ass out of you and me? No. Mr. Schollenberger called that organization directly and spoke to them.
And how did he know about their complaint, Councilmember Ortiz?
Because he called them directly and spoke to them. And I guess it busts you Because
No, there's no
also,
busting me.
John Valdivia showed up to
Okay, let's stay
represent
focused.
that organization. But here's the thing, well, here's real quick. Good afternoon, my name is Victor Suarez. I'm also the co-chair in the Arts and Historical Profession Committee, and today I come as a resident and a commissioner. A few months ago, I came here to support you all. I know that Mr. Salas sent Trevon on social media. You put out a plea for a time change, so I came as a resident to support you, and I congratulate you guys on moving the time. We all knew the reason why we are moving that. I congratulate you. I also stayed for that meeting. You guys have a very good presentation that day, good information that I didn't even know about, and I believe the public should always know what's going on in our city, right? It would be great. And I did advocate for this, for your public meeting. That's what he said when he opened up.
You kind of missed, you kind of
No,
cherry-picked through that.
I'm gonna
because
keep
he
going.
actually- the
All of our
transcript-
meetings
no,
should be public.
it actually
Councilwoman, please
started
do not
off-
interrupt.
All of
She's
our
let
meet-
her finish.
I'm reading his comment. We all knew the reason why we're moving that. I congratulate you. I also stayed for that meeting. You guys have a very good presentation that day, good information I didn't even know about, and I believe the public should always know what's going on in our city. It would be great also, and I did advocate for this, for your public meeting, for all of our meetings to be public, to be recorded and available to our residents, either on YouTube or streamed. I know it's recorded, so I'm here to advocate for that. I know for my own commission, I also advocated for that. As soon as I came in, and I did notice the meetings would be recording on traditional recording, I did request for those recording to be public. However, it was never came back to me. I was actually told that I was violating the Brown Act by responding to the email, which included all of my commissioners, and I was asking what's going on. Can we make those recordings public? I wasn't asking for a decision-making. I was asking for a move here or there on any agenda. I just wanted to be transparent. There are two of you who are for city council. I believe you should be transparent. We want our city to be transparent at all levels, staff, public, officials, and residents. After I came in support of you guys, staff retaliated against me. At my next meeting, after your meeting, we had our commission meeting. My ex-wife decided to show up out of the blue because Vanessa was the one who retaliated against me. I don't understand why. She's been going into different city council members, asking to discourage me from serving my city. So I believe we need good leaders at all levels. That includes staff. I know there's personal stuff between us. It is hard for my daughters to have to tell me they find you in bed with my wife.
Okay, council, there's a motion and a second. If
That
further-
is what you're punishing him over.
Let's call for the votes.
Councilmember Ibarra, I'm sorry, Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Ibarra?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Come back to me, please.
Councilmember Charette? Councilmember Canas?
Yes.
Councilmember Flores?
No.
Councilmember Ortiz?
No.
Mayor Tran?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No, he specifically stated, I'm also co-chair, vice chair for the Arts and Historical Preservation Committee. And today I come to us as also as a resident, as a
Council,
commissioner. Those are his
okay.
specific comments.
As a resident, that's the point.
Okay, then no.
It's a no vote. The motion fails with a 4-4 vote.
Thank you. The next regular meeting of the Mayor City Council and the Mayor City Council acting as the successor agency to the redevelopment agency will be held on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 at Norman F. Philtime Central Library located at 555 West 6th Street, San Bernardino, California, 92410,